Y'all know what day it is.
It's Wednesdays.
Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Wednesdays with Woody, where we interrupt your regular schmegular Wednesday. Well, to bring you another hot mess of a show. Jeez. Guys, I can't believe that we are already at the end of April. It just feels like we're going to blink through May, and before you know it, we're going to be in June and halfway through the year, and that is just a little bit wild, a little bit scary to me, because it's time. It's time moving at just a ridiculous pace. But maybe it's just a reminder to really slow down, really take stock of life, really make sure that whatever you are giving your energy and your presence to, that you are completely at peace with whatever that is, and that you are, making sure that you're enjoying it. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to wake up at 60 and just be like, oh my gosh, waited all the time, go. How am I this old? No. I really want to enjoy the moments, but I am digressing and off on a tangent, so let's wrap this up and get into this week's episode. So today I want to talk about that one thing that secretly haunts us all, the ordinary life. I think that we're all familiar with it. That 9 to 5, follow the formula, go to school, get a job, get married, behaved version of life that often feels like it came pre-installed. It whispers that safety is everything, that stability is holy, and that fitting in is the reward. But what if the whole point of this experience we call life is to shake things up, to burn the rule book, and become the main character of your own story? For a minute, I'd like us to consider how easy it is to settle into the ordinary. We follow paths we never questioned because we were told they were the smart choice. We take jobs that don't light us up. We shrink our dreams down to what's reasonable and trade our aliveness for security and something we call adulthood. But safety can become a cage. Unpredictability, that thing we've been told to worship, well, it'll suffocate you. We scroll past ads promising us routines, quick fixes, 10-step formulas. But geez, you can't automate your existence. And yet we keep trying. Sometimes we even try to be ordinary on purpose. Because it feels safer. Because being extraordinary asks more of us. And more from us. And I suppose we don't often always feel like we can hold that weight. I think for all of us, there's a moment when we realize we want more. Sometimes it comes in loud. A breakup, a resignation, a medical diagnosis, an unexpected move. Other times it's soft. You walk past your reflection and realize you don't recognize the person staring back. You're in the middle of a conversation and you hear yourself repeating the same thing you've said for years, and it just sounds flat, hollow. You start noticing the monotony of your own patterns, and none of that's failure. That's awareness. That's your intuition tapping on the glass. Wanting more isn't greedy. It's honest. Wanting a life that feels like it belongs to you doesn't make you ungrateful for the one you have. It just might mean you're paying attention. What would it look like to romanticize your life? Not the curated, posted, filtered one, but the quiet, sacred parts. Lighting candles for no reason, drinking tea from the mug that makes you feel like the main character of your life, wearing lipstick to the grocery store, reading poetry in bed instead of doom scrolling. It's not about pretending like your life is perfect, but it is about making small choices that align you with yourself. When you let joy take up space in the ordinary, you start building a life that feels true. Not impressive, not efficient, just true. People will not always understand when you choose something different. When you walk away from something stable, when you pivot, or when you say no. And maybe you'll question yourself too, because the unknown can be, it can be completely terrifying. But the truth that none of us actually say out loud is that every ordinary person you admire, from the artist, the creative, the friend who seems alive, the mother who, isn't breaking down into a million pieces while her children run around her, they once did something weird. They said no to what was expected. They chose the uncertain thing, the road less traveled. And it didn't make sense until it did. You see, your life doesn't need to be easy to be meaningful. It just needs to be yours. Removing yourself from the ordinary doesn't mean that you're running away from your life or your existence or the things that you're experiencing. It could possibly just mean that you're waking up. It could mean that you are honoring your boundaries, having deeper conversations, creating things for the joy of it and not for the likes, choosing rest, even when hustle culture tells you it's lazy. Something I struggle with a lot is being bored. Boredom often feels, simply put, quite ordinary. I often feel that when I'm in a state of boredom, like I am just not tapping into my inspiration, I'm not tapping into my creativity, I'm not living my fullest and best life. But maybe it's okay to say the thing that we're not supposed to say. It's okay to be bored with your life. And sometimes, maybe quite often, your life becomes boring. And it's not a crisis. It's not a moral failure. It could possibly just be an invitation to ask the kinds of questions that you haven't asked yourself in quite some time. Things like, what are you hungry for? What parts of you have been put on mute? Start there. Start with music you haven't played in a while, colors you haven't worn, and dreams you've shelved because someone once laughed. You're really allowed to want more flavor in your life. You're really allowed to want more experiences that are inspirational and that excite you. If you're listening and thinking, but I've already chosen this path, I hear you. I think we can all feel as though the paths that we've chosen in this life are locked in and cannot be changed. But that's not the truth. Reinvention has no timeline. Start where you are. Change what you can. Even if it's one small habit, one small shift, a 10-minute window every morning that belongs just to you. If there's one thing that I know, as the world becomes increasingly isolated, increasingly individualistic, is that you are not alone. You're not the only one who's craving something richer, softer, weirder, more vibrant, more exciting. There are people out there who are quietly and gently rejecting the script, just like you. And you don't need to know all the answers. You just need to be honest about the questions you ask yourself. If you've been feeling like your life has become too predictable, too beige, too prescribed, this episode is your permission slip. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to make a mess out of your life, to try something new, to romanticize your day, or the moment, or your relationship with yourself. Don't just sleepwalk your way through this one wild and precious life. Let it be strange. Let it be soft. Let it be nothing like you were ever told it had to be. And if you wake up one morning and realize that your life feels like someone else's, that is definitely not a crisis. That's clarity. That's your cue to change something, even if it's just how you breathe, even if it's just how you begin. Being extraordinary doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it's quiet, intentional, sacred, but always yours. I'm going to leave you all with one of my favorite quotes. I do not intend to tiptoe through life only to arrive safely at death's doorstep. I swear I try to live by this in every moment of my life, because life can get kind of crazy. Life can move real fast, and before you know it, you're in the middle of May and June is around the corner. But you really do have to make this life your own. You really do have to try it by all means to celebrate the smallest, tiniest things. To maybe not try and fight living and creating an ordinary existence, because I just feel like maybe we're all out here just trying to be extraordinary all the time. Are you not exhausted? I am. Okay. Let me wrap it up. Thank you guys so much once again for lending me your ears, lending me your time, lending me your energy. I am always grateful week on week to really be able to share whatever I'm busy thinking about or whatever I'm musing over, whatever the case might be. I have no idea, as always. I have no idea what next week's episode is going to be about, but if you have ideas, do let me know. Today's episode was inspired by a friend who obviously gave me a topic, and I really enjoyed coming up with the script for it and really thinking about it just by myself and what it meant for me. So until next we meet, is that next week? Oh my word, there might not be an episode next week, but if there is, until next we meet, au revoir, ciao, and I'll see you on the other side.